Getting ready to get going. I see everyone hopping on. Good to see some familiar names and faces. Give it a few minutes and let people get on. I see we're What Women Want New York / virtual this evening, but we've got people from Florida, Connecticut, Atlanta, Dallas.
I like the new logo.
I know. How exciting is that?
Yeah, it's great. A little heart on the end. I noticed that.
Where do you think that came from, Anne?
I don't know.
Yeah, it was definitely time for an update.
It was, yeah. It's
We're
very
in
nice.
agreement. Hey, Caroline.
Hey.
Good to see you. I've
Hey,
had
Caroline.
registered
Hey.
today. Yeah, we were pretty close to sold out today. Between sending a couple tickets out to Judy and Beth, I said, yeah, we had a lot of people registered, and I sent out some reminders, so we've got a full house. It's great to see all these beautiful faces. Tanya's here. Yay. Alabama is here. Mike is here. Hi, Mike. Mike, you look like you're at the Buckhead Club. Oh, I can't hear you yet, Mike. Let's get you unmuted.
I'll be there in the morning.
Oh, I haven't been back yet. I would be there tomorrow, but I've got another appointment, but I've got to get back in the club. So exciting. Well, I'll let people just say hello for a few minutes as everyone's getting on. As I mentioned, we've got Florida, Dallas, Connecticut, Alabama, New York City, and quite a few people from Atlanta today. So I guess we're What Women Want Virtual National, although this is the New York City chapter today.
I know not many people from New York yet.
Not many people from New York. It's interesting. I was really surprised. And of course, they all got the email. They all got the event. And if you all can see the chat, we're going to be using the chat feature, not the Q&A today. So you will be using the chat. Go ahead and just type in where you're from today so we can see who's here, where you're from. Feel free to unmute yourself and say hello in the beginning. We've got Deborah. Hey, Deborah Fawaz is here. Great, looking good. She's one of our Atlanta chapter directors.
Hi, it's Kim.
Kim, hi Kim, good to see you. Glad you made it today.
Thank you.
We're gonna give people a couple minutes to hop on. Hi Helen, good to see you.
Hey, Catherine.
Hey, I get to see you twice in 1 week.
I know, that was nice.
Very nice. We're for those of you that are not in Atlanta, we're socializing again with some distancing, and it's working out rather well. It's a whole different thing, but for the people that are ready to get out, we've got plenty of space in the places that we're going, and a little temperature check, and people are wearing masks, most of them, but we're really being cautious and careful, and I've noticed things are super clean. So if we've learned anything, we've learned to really clean things like we should have been all along. All right. Hey, Madeline. Nice to see you. Hi.
Hi.
Welcome.
Thank you. Pleasure to be here.
We're thrilled to have you. Welcome, welcome. We're just giving people a couple of minutes here to hop on and say hello to each other. Chat, go ahead and type in the chat where you are across the country. As I mentioned, we're What Women Want Virtual today, although we're the New York City chapter that's meeting. And we've got some guests, and I think that for the new people, we'll have to figure out who they are, where they are. But I'm gonna give us 2 more minutes and then actually kick off the event and get us going. I'm kind of a stickler for timeliness. Hi, Marie. Good to have you on here. Feel free to unmute yourselves and say hello to everybody. Type in the chat where you are.
That's good.
Okay.
Hey, everybody.
Good to have you, Marie. I've got Dallas. We've got Gainesville, Georgia with Deb. Oh, Liz is in out of Florida. Liz, are you in New Hampshire today?
Yes, I am. I'm actually looking at a start of a sunset early, so I'm got a beautiful view and I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, sounds gorgeous. What's the temperature like in New Hampshire?
Well, surprisingly warm. We were in the mid 80s today, so that's.
We never know.
Yeah, you don't. It was in the mid 80s back in Florida as well, so.
Okay.
Hello, fellow New Englander. It's beautiful in Connecticut too, Elizabeth.
Hi, how are you?
I'm
Yes,
well, thank you.
I know. I have a ton of family down there and I'm eager to go, but they're still even more cautious than New Hampshire right now. So they're kind of saying, don't come yet.
Well, since we're all ladies, I had the time of my life today with my sister and daughter. And oh, sorry, Mike, you're there. But,
Yeah, we're not all ladies.
We're not all ladies. Sorry, Mike. I just
One
saw you.
very brave man today.
No, but I had my first pedicure.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
We
I've
opened
never
up in
had
Connecticut.
one.
I don't know if Mike's
It is
down with
so
us. Some of the men are
exciting.
getting
I
kind of
know.
too.
I had my first facial today. Hence, I
Oh.
look like I do. I was so excited. I could have lain there all day.
Yeah, yeah. I picked whatever
Such
the
a
biggest
treat.
pedicure package was. We all got it, and it was like great. So I had to share.
Well, y'all
Everyone
can come
went in
down
and
to
said, give me the deluxe.
you can come down to the beach and enjoy massages with me. We've been doing them since May 1st.
Oh, how wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
Wonderful. Okay, one more minute and we're going to get started here. And I know we've got a few more who will be joining a little bit late. So good to see all these beautiful faces and names and familiar people. All right. All right, well, I'm going to get us going here. So welcome, welcome, welcome to What Women Want Virtual, What Women Want New York, What Women Want Across the Country. We're thrilled to be here today. We have got a fantastic event. And the thing that I love the most about What Women Want is we're going to hear from each and every person who you are, what you do, and what you want. And we really, truly are here to help you get it, to pay it forward. I'm going to encourage all of you to use the chat feature today, get to know some people, set up some connection conversations, and lo and behold, whatever it is that you want, people are your connection. We truly are here to help you get your dreams, your goals, fulfill your business, fill your business with clients and customers. And you know, I've really realized there's no magic bullet out there. It happens organically. It happens conversation to conversation. But the neat thing about What Women Want Networking is we have a professional speakers board. And I personally, along with Judy Goss, our founder, have been committed to bringing you the very best speakers on the planet. So tonight we have Amy Newmark. And if you read about Amy Newmark, she truly is an A-list celebrity speaker. She's the founder, owner of, not the founder, she didn't start it, Jack Canfield started it, but she actually owns Chicken Soup for the Soul for many, many years now. And you'll hear more about her later, but she'll be hopping on at about 6:50. And I guess it'll be interesting. She's going to come on, give us a great presentation, take a few questions, and I've had the pleasure of working firsthand with her before. So just be prepared. If you've got yourself on mute, that would be a great thing right now. We're going to unmute each person, go through the room, hear from you personally. We're going to have about 30 seconds to go around the room and say who you are, what you do, what you want. And I do want to first let you know, we do always have a sponsorship opportunity. So we have a sponsor today who I'm really pleased to say, she's just one of our former guests. We've chatted with her a couple times, and I was so surprised to learn that her connections, even though she's in Connecticut, were in Atlanta. So with our sponsorship opportunity, we always let people be the spotlight, They get to feature their business, and I'm just going to share my screen here for just a moment. And so our sponsor today, Valerie Alosio. So Valerie is in Connecticut, and Valerie, I'm going to turn it over to you. Valerie, go ahead and tell us all about who you are, what you do. Thank you so much for being a sponsor today.
My pleasure. Thank you. Hello, everybody. I'm thrilled to be here. You know, I started my journey in as an entrepreneur 20 years ago. I think I was one of the founding members of the New York chapter with Judy way back when, you know, so it's a great journey. And yes, I've been to the events in Atlanta and I travel quite a bit, and it's been an incredible journey becoming an entrepreneur. My background was human resources, training and development in the corporate arena. And I left that arena 20 years ago, you know, not necessarily by choice. My company wanted me to relocate. I was newly divorced with little kids and said, no, take a severance package. Who's been there, done that, reinvent yourself. And someone shared with me some great products that were helping me with a health challenge and shared with me network marketing and direct sales. I've never done anything like that before in my life. Never sold even a Girl Scout, you know, cookie, you know, never. I was a dental assistant in high school. So, I mean, it was just one of those things. I said, no, thank you. And she said something to me that changed my life for good. And she said, you know, Valerie, a closed mind is a wonderful thing to lose. A closed mind is a wonderful thing to lose, because I was always saying, wouldn't it be great if I could have more work-life balance and not have to schlep the kids back and forth at the daycare and sit on I-95 traffic and do all that and work from home and make 6-7 figures like I am used to in my corporate, you know, wouldn't that be great? And here she was putting that on literally a silver platter, and I was saying no. So, you know, I'm sure all of us here have had that defining moment, and that was a defining moment 20 years ago. I said yes to something I knew nothing about, replaced my corporate income, which was a very nice income, in 18 months, because I was determined to have work-life balance, be there for my kids, never miss a game or a play, and become an entrepreneur, even though I didn't even know what that really was. I was a corporate person. And that's where my journey began. And then, of course, coming to networking events like this and meeting people is the only way I've expanded my business in the last 20 years, really. Personal contacts, relationships, which is why this is so important. So here we are. You know, 5 years ago, I became a pioneer in the legal cannabis space. So for those that don't know, I am a pioneer bringing CBD derived from hemp, sister plant, to marijuana. So we're not talking about the high, we're talking about the health. 5 years ago, nobody even knew what CBD was. Now it's all over the place, but there's 50,000 uses for hemp, and our company will be engaged in hemp building materials, hemp biofuels, hemp plastics. Could you imagine having a plastic water bottle in a landfill or a waterway? You know, so that whole mission and vision really caught my attention. It caught my attention that I was going to be able to bring a plant and health technology to the marketplace and be one of the first to do so. And that was 5 years ago. We've grown the company over 900%. We closed out the year. My company is Canaway. I sit on the advisory board and I'm a founding member of that company. Susan Guthrie, who the Atlanteans may know, is my colleague in our company. And I do sit on the board, and I have an international business. That business grew to over 7 figures in less than 3 years globally. And I could not have done that without the wonderful participants, customers, and team members. And so it's been really a great journey to find a company with matching my values, being involved in helping others. I mean, that's the only way, you know, we get paid is by helping somebody else, and either physically or financially. So we are going through a major, you know, COVID really hasn't changed much because I've always worked from home, and our business has just been growing because people are really looking for ways to stay fit, healthy, and young, very much so now. They're also looking for multiple streams of income, and primarily, you know, what I do is I am a leadership coach. You know, I help people. That's what I did before it was even leadership coaching back in the corporate day 20 years ago. But that is my forte, developing 6- and 7-figure earners globally. And I just have the pleasure of, you know, experiencing an industry whose time has come, a company who's leading the way, and it's just been wonderful to be a part of it. And so I'll type in the chat. I think you saw how you guys can reach me. I'm offering just, hey, if anyone has any questions or anything at all about the products nor the business, just let's schedule some time together. I'm happy to send anyone who's interested a complimentary sample of our oil as well as our topical, so you can experience that for yourself on me. So just let me know. And Catherine, I think I'm under 2 minutes.
Valerie, you're awesome. Thank you. That was great. And it's lovely to hear the success of your company and what you're doing. So absolutely connect with Valerie. You'll definitely want to chat with her, get to know her, and amazing doors will open. I know you'll have referrals and resources for each other. But Valerie's our spotlight speaker today. She basically said, I would love to do a sponsorship with you. So if you're interested in a sponsorship opportunity, I'll talk a little bit more about that at the end. But I will tell you, the way that you get more clients and customers is through networking, through connection conversations, through speaking, and sponsorships. So even though we're here virtually, it hasn't changed. It's the same thing that we did when we were in person. So I'm super excited to let you know, as president, as you know, recently Catherine Marshall took over as president of What Women Want Networking. So the first big change that I made is the logo. So I'm just gonna share my screen real quick here. We needed a refresh. So this is our new What Women Want Networking logo. I hope you love it as much as I do. And I love the little heart that's there, because we really are gonna have our heart in everything here to connect, to help women prosper. And truly, this organization is about paying it forward, picking up the phone, being a great friend, having resources, and truly helping people get what they want. So you're gonna see this new logo up on the website. I'm not even gonna show the website tonight. You know how to get to whatwomenwantnetworking.com. You've all seen it. But that's my first big change. And we are actually gonna be going back to having some in-person events. We're having a pop-up event here in Atlanta on the 23rd. I'll talk a little bit about that later, but we are having a pop-up event on Tuesday, the 23rd at 6:30 p.m. in Atlanta, Georgia. And we'll go Facebook Live if you can't join us if you're out of state. But we would, it's time. It's time for us to figure out how to do it, how to strategize. There will be social distancing available. We're only taking up to 25 attendees. And I will have that up on the website within 48 hours. But if you want to get in on one of those tickets, message me. I'll get you in as one of the first 25 and let you know immediately when it goes up on the website. Of course, events are free for members and $35 or $45. It's $45 the last 2 days before events, but we really want to keep the quality up. So Judy Goss, our founder, started What Women Want Networking. She was formerly a Ford model, and she was working as an editor for More magazine, and she had all these women and all their stories, and she fell into this networking job, position, company, because she needed to be able to share these women's stories. So we want to be able to share people's stories, their gifts, their talents, and truly bring you the highest caliber of networking, the highest caliber of speakers. We want everyone to go away going, wow, we got some real value out of this. And I think what I'm hearing is what we're going to take away from 2020 is remember where were you when the first time you got your hair done again? Where were you when you got your first pedicure after the pandemic? That I can already hear loud and clear from everyone, because we're going to get on the other side of this, and we're already living, breathing truth with the prosperity, the prosperity mindset that the women and men who've come to What Women Want Networking have had. This has not been a time of lack. This has been a time of us to tap into our resources. It's been a time for self-reflection. And I have been thrilled to say that because of this organization, we've had people who are making money. That's a great thing. So I'm going to start off the introductions. Me personally, I'm Catherine Marshall. My company is called Virtual Wealth, and I help companies go virtual, make money online, just like we did with What Women Want Networking. We've actually gained 8 new members, only had 2 drop off during the pandemic. So not only have I been working virtually for full-time for a couple of years, I've been working virtually for 10 years and left behind working with people in the fitness studio one-on-one and seeing people for business appointments one-on-one or one-to-many, and have very successfully scaled multiple streams of virtual income. So I'll put my number in the chat if you don't have it. And if you'd love to have a conversation about virtual wealth, I would be happy to speak with you. But I'm going to go through our participants now. And I'm going to go with Diane first. Diane, you were on early today. And Diane, if you can, all right. Hey, Diane, how are you? 30 seconds, who you are, what you do, what you want.
My name is Diane Beatty, and I love technology. I love helping people out of very hard situations if they're kind of not knowing what their next logical step is. I build systems, I build websites, ClickFunnels, I help with strategy, email automation, anything that gives you heartburn, basically, in technology.
All right, Diane, be sure to put in the best way that we can contact you to clear up those technology issues. Thanks so much. All right, Nita.
Hi, Nita Patel. I am a fine artist, author, and coach, and my first book comes out in August 11th.
Congratulations.
Thank you. It is about modern etiquette and basically how modern etiquette can help you increase your self-esteem, boost your confidence, and lead to success.
Awesome. Thank you, Nita. Caroline.
Hey, I'm Caroline Leyburn with Caroline Leyburn Designs. I do home remodels and new homes with a focus on supporting who you are and expressing your unique personality. And now I also do playhouses, as you can see, and other small things like that, tree houses and fantasy beds and creative little things too. So
looks like a lot of fun. Thank you, Caroline. Dr. Tanya Butler.
Hey everyone, I'm Tanya. I am in South Alabama, down here by Gulf Shores, nearly. I am a medical massage therapist and a corrective exercise specialist. I own Dynamic Therapeutics and have been doing this kind of work for in and out about 23 years now. I am looking for people who suffer from chronic pain. I specialize in soft tissue repair, so it's not a traditional massage. If you know anyone who is suffering from plantar fasciitis, that is something that I've worked the last 2 years to develop a protocol to rid people of pain, finally, that the podiatrists have not been addressing. So send them my way if they've got chronic pain. We can do it virtually.
Awesome. And Tanya, you're located where?
I'm in Daphne, Alabama, just right outside of Mobile.
Right around the corner.
Right around the corner.
Okay. All right, thanks. And everyone, I want to remind you, put in the chat anything that you want, any promotions you have, any way that you can be contacted. You can also save the chat. If you see those 3 little dots on the right-hand side, you're going to be able to save that entire chat in your computer. Just make sure you look and see where it's saved in your computer. So, but I want to let you know that this time for us is meant for us to connect, set up some connection conversations. You're going to be amazed at the things that unfold from the people that you're going to meet here. So, don't just show up, listen to the speaker, hope that someone's going to call you or text you. Make sure you set up those connection conversations. That is the whole point. I've said for years, no one is showing up at networking and just cutting you a check. Nowadays, it's an auto debit or deposit. But again, make sure you go away from this today with at least 2 or 3 people, maybe more, that you're going to have those connection conversations with. So, and we have one very brave man here today. Mike, how are you? Good to see you. Wow, you got a whole crew behind you.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I know Catherine from the Buckhead Club, which is behind us, and she invited me to join us today. Mostly because she's part of a mastermind group that I host and facilitate, and I'm trying to learn how to navigate this networking in the virtual world. So thank you for having me. By day, I'm a financial advisor at Skernecki Financial Planning Group. I work primarily with females, but I'm still trying to figure out what women want. So thank you all for having me.
All right, well, we're here to let you all know what women want, Mike. It'll be in the chat. All right, thanks so much. And, I am part of a mastermind at the Buckhead group. I will tell you, the most successful people, they join multiple organizations. They network with men, they network with women, they have small groups, they have large organizations. So I'm just going to encourage you and let you know that we love to partner with other organizations and support them. We've got women that have led eWomen that are members here. We've got women that have led ABWA and some of the other organizations. I think it's really about cross networking and net weaving, if you will. But next person up, Kim Norman. Kim, how are you? Oh, we can't hear you there. There you are. Great. I can hear you now.
Super excited to be part of this, especially because everyone's all over the place.
And welcome. You're one of our newest members, so congratulations on joining us.
Thank you. Very excited. So what do I do after 29 years in human rights and education and literally changing people's lives around the world, breaking cycles of poverty and many other different things? I love working with women. So I've got courses that take women through a process for them to build a life that they really love. I want women to wake up every morning and really understand who they are and move forward. So it's about connecting on a very deep level within yourself and seeing such incredible things change through courses, and watching women is just inspirational when they take that power and they really understand what they want to do with their lives. So,
and tell us again, what is your course called?
So it's build the life that you love, live the life that you really love. That's what it's about. And this is called Free the Mind Co, because when you literally free your mind, then that's when everything falls into place. We've got so much that just messes up our heads, and we listen to that instead of actually understanding what is driving that. So when you free your mind and you free that thought process, you access your inner power and your self-awareness and your consciousness, and you drive your life into a very different space. And that's where the power is.
That really is where the power is. Kim, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Helen Panos, hello.
Hello, how you doing, Catherine?
Treat day, I get to see you twice in 1 week.
I know, I know. So I'm Helen Panos. I'm the owner of Dynamis Learning Academy. It's a K through 12 tutoring service. We help children virtually, more so now, actually since COVID, and in person to reach their potential. Right now we are doing virtual math camps, going very well. Had one today, jumped on and watched my tutor for a little bit. And so I'm looking for people who are interested in doing some virtual, whether it's remediation or enhancement. Also, we are doing an ACT online prep course starting June 23rd. And yes, I know if that's somebody that told me, oh, but colleges are not accepting that anymore, but that's not completely true, actually. So I would suggest that people contact the colleges their children are looking at, because only about half of them have said they'll waive it. And I know kids that are tutoring for that. So just wanted to put that out there, so the myths are knocked down a little bit.
Awesome.
Thank you.
All right, thanks, Helen. Madeline, I gotta say you got one of the most interesting backgrounds I've seen yet.
Hi, well, thank you. Listen, I have never heard of your group. I am so excited about
Well, welcome.
Here.
Thank you for coming for the first time. We're thrilled to have you.
I intend to join and become involved. I think this
She's like, I don't even know the price. I am in.
Yeah, I am totally. And, I was a member of so many groups in New York, Women Business Owners of New York, Westchester Association of Women Business Owners.
Oh, wow.
And it's been a long time since I was a part of a women's group, although the Three Tomatoes is also a very good group that's different ilk. So currently I'm based in Stamford, Connecticut, but I'm on my way to Coconut Grove, Florida. My whole family, including the grandchildren, are relocating to Miami area, and I am too, and I'm very excited about that. So I have a number of projects. I am pursuing my PhD in the philosophy of educational leadership with a focus on social emotional learning. Self-esteem in children has been a very big piece of my work. I have a separate website for that. But currently I have a TV show which I brought back on Zoom, interviewing entrepreneurs, telling their stories and writing about them. And I have a Saturday morning strategic thinking Saturdays, which focuses the great thinkers of the world through a presentation I make. So I'm basically a researcher, a writer, and an interviewer, and that's how I spend my time. well, if I could just ask for a want, I'd love to meet all of you seriously in conversation. But I'm a part of the New York City Leadership Council for Plan International. And next Thursday night, we have a virtual event, an hour, the Songs of Girls Around the World. It's $25 and it will make a huge difference. And if you don't mind, I will save the chat and I'll reach out to you with an email and invite you.
Absolutely, I'll be happy to share that across our What Women Want networking sites. So
thank you.
Yeah, we can share it across our Facebook groups, and we'll be happy to share that. And we've got a group with 4,300 people. So
we can only have 100 on the call. I'd love to be responsible for the lion's share. So thank you.
You don't want to be responsible for a group that large, trust me. All right, but thank you. We're thrilled to have you, and we'll be looking forward to getting to know you.
Thank you.
All right. Okay, Marie Fertoni. Oh, hi, Marie. There you are.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks, Catherine. Hi, everybody. I'm Marie Fertoni, and I'm the CEO of Get Clients Everywhere. I'm a business coach and consultant and a professional speaker. I'm also the founder and the leader of the Women's Professional Development Network here in Atlanta, 10-year-old network. Been leading networks for about 30 years. And I am a stand that women prosper. I just want women to make a boatload of money so that they can really be the leaders that they're meant to be, and that they can really run their lives as they really deserve and as they so wish. What I'm looking for these days is I'm really looking to schedule conversations with people who are really up for up-leveling their business, really kind of taking it, from the nice, comfy place that they've been to really launch it forward, and to really get new clients, to make more money and have more joy and freedom. And what I do is I teach people really how to truly connect, and really connect with their audiences through speaking, audiences through networking, and audiences through selling, and audiences through really connecting, audiences through events. And so I'm just up for some great conversations with people. I'd love to connect. I put my information in the chat. And I look forward to seeing everybody really rise. So it's a great group here tonight. Thanks for having me.
It really is. And Marie's one of our speaker board members. And Marie is the founder of WPDN, the Women's Professional Development Network. And Marie, just tell us real quickly about WPDN, because you've mentored me over the years, and I've watched WPDN grow and rave reviews about it. So just real quick, tell us about your organization, because I want you all to understand that we are really in this to help the other women's organizations and vice versa. We're sisters, we're friends. Some people are going to come to our party and go to the other party and come back and forth, and everybody wins. So tell us real quick about WPDN.
Thanks so much for that. Yeah, we want everybody to win. The more people that win, the more people that win. WPDN, we founded it about 10 years ago. It's for women entrepreneurs. It is a women's space. And the primary potential of WPDN is really professional development. So the first and foremost is we grow entrepreneurs. We want people who are at startups. We want people in the medium size. We want people who are really experts, so that we can really start to really pull people along. The networking always happens. Connecting women are awesome, and will connect with anyone. But we have been moved virtual as well. And we typically have about 35 to 50 people. I would say very similar to What Women Want networking. We're definitely cousins and sisters here. And, we just really want to, the space of it really is that women really grow professionally, and that they are in a community of like-minded people, so that they can actually get the kind of training from the different programs that really speak to women entrepreneurs. So thanks for that. We have many people here that are members or attendees, and
absolutely.
Next event is June 24th, which is coming up. It's next Wednesday. It's a week from today. You can take a look at getclientseverywhere.com, hit the tab for WPDN, and you can see the information there.
And you'll find the highest quality entrepreneurs networking at WPDN. So thanks, Marie.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah, Liz Vegan, how are you?
I'm Elizabeth Began. I'm owner of Began Productions, which is a video production and public relations firm. I grew up in media and entertainment and news. My grandfather started in radio and was manager for wrestlers, the people like Haystack Calhoun and some of the original wrestlers. And he's the one that developed the treatment for Wide World of Sports. My father went into television and he started way back in the Dumont days. And he developed the Mike Douglas and Merv Griffin shows and was pivotal in developing syndication as we know it now. I'm the only one of the kids that followed in my father's footsteps, and I absolutely adore what I do. I started in news. I was in news for about 15 years and then moved to the other side of the camera. I was a reporter and anchor. And then I moved to the other side of the camera and started my own company in video production. But ultimately, I mashed the two sides of my life together. And aside from being a video producer and director, I also am a publicist because I spent such a long time in news. I know what the news media is looking to hear and what they want to cover and how to position it with them. So that is pretty much the bulk and thrust of my company. And I am so happy to be part of this organization because I've met such amazing women and men, and I just love to have this networking opportunity and see more about people, their company, and what we can do to help each other grow. So just more networking is my goal here.
All right, awesome. Thanks, Liz. And you know, networking really is, it's an art, it's a skill, it's something that we get better at over time. You know, I've realized in my own practice, just teaching people how to have those connection conversations, how to have sales conversations, and differentiating the two. And I would say, you know, get to know people, find out what they need personally and professionally, and they will send you people. They'll do cartwheels for you. So Liz, we're thrilled to have you. You definitely, I've watched your work and just watched you grow even since the time I met you. And that's really what it's all about. So
absolutely. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks. Cheryl, how are you?
Good, good. Good to see everyone tonight. My name is Cheryl Weldon, and I am a partner and stylist with Peach. And Peach has been close friends and a big supporter of What Women Want for years. And our mission is actually very similar to that of this organization. Our mission is to help women thrive both personally and professionally. And what you see most is the clothes, which of course I love, but we also have an educational component where we do programs for women. And every week on our website, we do what we call Thursday Thrives, and it's always on a different topic. So we do like to go well beyond just the exterior and help women feel confident and more fulfilled on the inside as well. Awesome. And by the way, all of you know Janet Krause, who was our CEO, and she's spoken several times at your conference. If you would like to see her walk the runway, she'll be doing that tonight. We're having an event tonight at 8 o'clock. I don't know if we'll end in time, but if you'd like to hop over to that fashion show, I put the link in there. It's bit.ly Peach Summer Style Live, and you can watch Janet as well as others model some of the things from our summer line. And if you feel inclined to shop, I've got my link there. And my offer to this group is if you do place an order, no pressure, but if you do, you will have a chance to win free Peach. So that's always a good thing.
Can't argue with that. All right, well, thank you. And Cheryl, I think you were one of our original Atlanta members, correct?
I don't know if I'm one of the originals, but I go back a few years. A few years,
yeah. Well, we're glad you're here. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, Deborah.
Hi, everyone. My name's Deborah Schaub, and I am a CPA. My company is C&B Accounting, and I specialize in helping small business owners with all of their accounting needs. I joke that this is like the never-ending accounting season. So it's like nice out here in New York, and it's still tax time, so that's kind of bizarre. But what I'm really helping most of my clients do is understand their numbers with all of these new loans and financial statements and all the tax information that's being thrown at all of us. It's so important now more than ever to really know what that all means and how to ask for the right things, get your loans forgiven if you've received them, and make sure that everything is accounted for right and on the balance sheet so that you don't have any problems. And I just actually got certified as a certified tax coach, which is super exciting. So now I have the ability to do some really good tax planning, and there's some really interesting things happening in the CARES Act. So Debbie Schaub, CNB Accounting, I help keep your accounting in check and balanced.
Okay, great. And where exactly are you located, Debbie?
So my office is in New Jersey. I'm in Montclair, and I also do work in New York, New Jersey, and all over. I can do a lot of virtual work too.
Awesome, awesome. Well, we're thinking of everyone in the New York area daily, just with everything that's gone on, and you know, just know with us coming from Atlanta, life will come back. I know it's slower, but it will. There's light at the end of the tunnel. So thanks for being with us today.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Stephanie, how are you?
Hi, everybody. How are you?
Great.
So I'm Stephanie Graham. I am the owner of Graham Estate Planning. I am an estate planning attorney. I've actually practiced in New York from 1997 to 2003 and helped my mom out in South Carolina before I showed up in Georgia in 2005. Started my practice 3 years ago to focus on estate planning and probate. 95% of my clients are women because fact is they leave it up to their partners to plan, and more often not that is not done, or the plan is 20 years old. My office is located in Sandy Springs, Georgia, but I am starting to branch out into New York a little bit. I did a Zoom with a bunch of New Yorkers the other day. So again, I'm licensed in New York, New Jersey, and Georgia.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, we're thrilled to have you. Thank you. Thank you. Carly Grenner.
Hi there. I'm joining you from Central Florida. I am a board certified behavior analyst and certified simple fat burn coach. I used Catherine's simple fat burn plan to lose 113 pounds while I was getting certified to become a coach. And so now I coach people virtually on how to lose weight, but also more importantly, achieve a healthy body, brain, and spirit overall. So I'm excited.
And you're an author. You're also an Amazon author. Congratulations.
Yes, I did. I published my first book in September of last year.
Oh, thank you. And you're one of our newer members. We're thrilled to have you you're in Lakeland, Florida?
Yes.
All right. Florida in the house. Great. Thanks, Carly. Sue Perez, how are you?
Hi everybody. It's so exciting to see so many new faces and people that are joining on. This is a fabulous group of women. And I've said it before, but I don't think there's any time that we've been more necessary to share our gifts with the world and encourage people and really enable people with what we know and what we know how to do well in our fields. So I'm Sue Perez. I'm an Emmy Award-winning makeup artist, television mostly, and film. I am based here in New York City. I'm also a published author. I am licensed in skincare, so I wrote about beauty and skincare, which was a passion, and everybody wanted me to share that. And since the pandemic hit, I've actually been really busy online working with clients to encourage them to bring out their best version of themselves on camera. Obviously, with my experience, I can speak to that, and I just really want to offer that to everyone here. If you'd like to talk to me on Zoom for a complimentary call, I can show you the top 2 things you can do right now that will impact and up-level your look on camera. So looking to collab, I love doing interviews. I have a Facebook group that I launched this month actually, and it's very exciting to have a way to reach people and share my wisdom and my knowledge. So I just say hi to everybody and just welcome. So that's it.
Absolutely. And I can see in the chat, some people have commented about when you were on the interview with Health is Wealth, and we first were on, and yeah. So I've just watched you grow and help so many people look good on camera. And we'll have some time at the end for testimonials. I know some people have been working with you that are here that have really upped their look. But do be thinking if you've met someone or you've worked with someone who's here today that you want to say something kind about, we'll have some time at the end for testimonials. And I also am going to leave the chat open so that you can continue to connect with each other. So don't think just because we finish and we're done that you're cut off. You can absolutely stay on and book those conversations. So Ann Saccone, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Fantastic.
I'm Ann Saccone, and I own a design build firm that focuses on quality in design and product and approach. And I am super busy. It seems like everyone just has wanted to, what they tell me is just make me happy in my home again. So like I said, it's a full service design build firm. I do anything from sell you a sofa to add an addition onto your home.
Awesome. Well, we're thrilled to have you. You're always the first one to sign up for everything in all the time that I've known you. And I'm glad to hear that you've been busy. So good news there. Sherry Nettles, how are you? Welcome.
Hey, Catherine. I'm great. It's so great to be here. I am unique, and I love that about myself. I am a Christian comedian. So I go out and I teach people how to reach in the depths of their spirit and find their joy. Laughter truly is medicine to our soul. So in 2012, I became a certified laughter leader. And I go in and I not only make people laugh, but I teach people how to laugh. There's a strategy to it. So I'm going to leave you with something today. I want you to do 3 things when it comes to laughter, because when you laugh, you literally will lower your cortisol levels, you reduce your stress levels, you release endorphins. And so I want you to plan to laugh every day. I want you to prompt laughter in your own life. And I want you to promise me that you will laugh every day. I am, again, a Christian comedian. I am a writer. I am a humorous storyteller. And I am looking to coach people on how to take their own story, find the joy in it, and share it with other people.
Lovely. And we have the perfect speaker for you today talking about that topic of wrapping laughter into challenging times. So thanks for being with us today.
Thank you, Catherine, for letting me be here. Thanks.
Absolutely. Ariel, good to see you.
Hi. I don't know how to follow that.
Thank you. And tell us where you are. Where are you located?
Yeah, I am in Flowery Branch, Georgia, actually. So just right outside of Gainesville, kind of near Lake Lanier.
Yeah, and actually my friend Tanya, who's here today from Alabama, used to live in Flowery Branch many, many moons ago. So
it is a very, very cute town. If you ever get a chance, I would highly recommend the farmers market. One of my favorite things to go to. I'm Ariel Gibson with Edward Jones. I'm a financial advisor. I help people develop strategies to achieving their financial goals, whether it be planning for retirement, planning for education, or even living in retirement. One of the things that I've been working with recently, and you probably know somebody, or you've talked to somebody recently who has either lost their job or is transitioning into retirement. So one of the things specifically that I'm helping people do is understanding their options with their 401ks and with their old 401ks. I'm also working with CPAs to help develop, a plan for those clients, especially as we move into July and we come close to the end of tax season. So making sure that their world is very, very well rounded. A good referral for me right now would probably be somebody who is transitioning, making those transitions. Helping them to understand what their options are, whether it being leaving their old 401k at their old company, rolling it over, or even moving it to a new company. So helping them to understand all of those options for them. I'm excited to be here, and Ariel Gibson with Edward Jones.
All right, thanks, Ariel.
Thank you.
Great. Mary, how are you?
I am doing great. Thank you very much. Since so many people are from so many places in the United States, I am here in Atlanta, Georgia, specifically North Fulton County, which is Roswell. I'm a real estate broker, and my skill is to help people find the home that they consider to be a haven for whenever they need to relax and enjoy themselves. I've been doing this for many, many years with a lot of experience in all facets. It was in title insurance, mortgage lending, credit counseling, all of those things. So I bring a whole book of information with me when I come. And the whole purpose of my doing that, since my children are now big, is so that I have funds available to me to be a part of the Rotary Club so that we can do service projects. We're now seeking out those individuals who during this pandemic need additional help. I just recently met with somebody on Friday evening who adopted a child from Honduras, and because of that, she keeps in close contact with them, and the duress that those people are under, something I'm going to bring up to my club to see if we can maybe do something to get them some food and things like that. So if you are, what I'm looking for as far as, you know, the networking thing goes, is sellers who are going to be interested in selling their homes. During this time period, there's a lot of people that are potentially stressed, but we have got all kinds of programs where they can extend out their mortgage payments, or they can get a forbearance for a year. So I don't think we're going to see a problem with our real estate values dropping because of people not being able to make their payments. So that's good news. So if you have anybody though who in their normal process of life, not because they're freaking out from this virus, but who must leave or want to scale down because their kids are gone, or you know they're having babies, they want to scale up.
I'm gonna have to keep us moving here, Mary. We're 30 seconds for everybody, so thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, perfect. All right, Catherine Woods, how are you?
Hi, good evening. I'm Catherine Woods with Confident Communications. I'm a voice and communication coach with over 20 years of experience as a speech pathologist. I'm also a recovering shy person, so I fuse those aspects of my background to help speakers, entrepreneurs, and executives learn to use their voice to convey their confidence, their charisma, and their authority when they speak, so they can attract their ideal client and magnetize their audience. And what I do is I teach them to make one small shift at a time in order to do this. If you're interested in learning how to prepare your voice and warm it up before you speak so it will sound great, then you can go to my website, which I'll put in the chat, and you can get my complimentary vocal warm-up series, which is a freebie, and that will sign you up on my mailing list. So you'll also get notifications when I do workshops, many of which are free now virtually. So we're going to do all sorts of topics like how to eliminate filler words, how to get ready to speak. So I will put that in the chat for those of you who are interested.
All right. Bernadette, how are you?
Hello, everyone. It's so great to see everybody's faces. I am Bernadette Pannier. I live in Atlanta, Georgia, and I am part of the Perimeter chapter, which I'm very excited that we're going to be back live in heels and in person at the end of this month. Woohoo! My company is called Insta for Profit, and what I do is I specialize in teaching scaling businesses, entrepreneurs and owners how to monetize and gain new followers and new business by using Instagram. Now, what that really means, social media business development is super important, and it means you can gain following, gain business, and grow revenue by posting 3 to 5 times a week and using those posts with calls to actions to actually pull pricing in and pull revenue in, because your followers become your clients pay you, and what's not great about making money? So I teach you how to make money using social media, specifically Instagram. I have some time over my calendar for the next couple of weeks, so I'm going to put a link into the chat where you can book a 30-minute call with me where we will discuss how I can help you with your business, and maybe there's some synergy there on the other side, and I will also give you a complimentary Instagram audit. So thank you so much. Again, my name is Bernadette, and I'm so excited to see all the faces from all over the country tonight.
Awesome. All right. Well, we've got Judy Goss was just logging on. I think she's having a little bit of a problem with her connection. Judy, are you there? She is not there. That's okay. Well, I want to just take some time and move
Catherine,
on. Judy.
Catherine, I'm sorry. This is Beth. I logged on. I don't know if you saw me.
Hey, Beth.
Are you talking to me? Shoot, I think my internet isn't that great.
Hey, Judy, are you there?
Hi.
I don't see her. Oh, there she is.
I'm here, but I don't know if my internet is going in and out.
But you know what? We can hear you. So if you'll just say hello and
hello.
Yeah, I'll just say hello to everyone, and then we're going to bring Amy Newmark on in just a moment.
Okay, so I think you said you could hear me.
We can hear you. Yep, we can hear you.
Oh, okay, awesome. I don't know why, but it sounds like aliens every time someone talks. But hello, everyone. Welcome to the, tech digital world. I switched my service, internet service, so maybe I better switch back. Anyway, I'm so happy to see everyone here. I know, it's crazy. And I'm sorry I'm late. I just ran from a TV production meeting over here. So if things weren't bad enough, the fact that I can't hear anyone right now is not so great, but hopefully you can hear me. And first I want to express my gratitude towards all of you for being on the call tonight. We weren't sure if What Women Want, honestly, was going to stay in the game this year. And I'm sure a lot of you felt the same way too about your companies. And it's just evolving into, more than I could ever imagine. Even if we, didn't go through this whole COVID mess. So I'm really, really excited. I want to thank real quick the chapter directors. If you're on here, Deb Fawaz and Francois Everett and Araya McGarry and Christina Lennox couldn't make it tonight, but you guys are holding everything together. And of course, Catherine, my gosh, you really took this company and are bringing it to several higher levels. So I'm actually, instead of now fearful of what's coming for What Women Want, I'm really excited and really just, kind of flabbergasted at the potential, Catherine, that you've brought to What Women Want. And also, Ray McGarry, I want to give you a special thanks too, because I know you've been in the background planning and plotting the next moves for us. I'm hearing about conference and all kinds of good stuff coming up. So thank you to everyone. Like I said, I just ran from a TV production meeting. I'm so excited because my TV career is going. So Catherine now is at the helm for What Women Want as president of the company, and I'm just really excited. And another thing I'm excited about is that Amy Newmark is here tonight. And, Amy was our keynote speaker for our What Women Want conference #2. And we had, I think, like 195 women. It was almost 200 women that year attending. And Amy, she knew me. She had been on my podcast and we had a great relationship, but she really didn't know about, this is my second year of the conference. She didn't even know if anyone was going to go. And she really stepped out, kind of off a ledge of,
Oops. Oh, I think we're losing Judy there. Oh, she's muted. Well, I'm going to take over, and if Judy pops back on, fantastic. Are you there, Judy?
I'm so sorry. I gotta go back to Verizon.
That's okay. We can hear you now.
But if you can still hear me,
we can hear you.
I hope you can. I think that's what you said. I just want to say real quick, I'm so grateful to Amy Newmark who put her name on the line basically to support us for the second year of our conference. And it was a roaring success. And she's here back with us tonight about how to teach us all how to have more humor, a little more humor in their life. So I appreciate you, Amy. You're the publisher of Chicken Soup for the Soul. You're a best-selling author. You're an incredible speaker in your own right. And I'm so happy you're here.
Oh, thank you. Well, I want to just say a couple of words about Amy Newmark. She is the best-selling author, editor-in-chief, and publisher of Chicken Soup for the Soul book series since 2008. So Amy has been the one who has been doing it, publishing over 165 new books, many of them bestsellers in the US and Canada, more than doubling the number of Chicken Soup for the Soul's titles in print today. So that's a pretty big deal. She's credited with revitalizing the company and the Chicken Soup for the Soul brand, which has been a publishing industry phenomenon since the book first came out in 1993. She has really kept the content alive, viable, fresh, and relevant, And when Amy and her husband, Bill, who is the CEO of Chicken Soup for the Soul, are not working, they're visiting their 4 grown children. You can find Amy on Twitter at Amy Newmark. And I will tell you, I had the pleasure of spending time with Amy when she spoke at our conference. We were on NBC's Atlanta and Company together. That is actually Amy doing her Twitter. It's the real deal. I know people wonder, hey, do celebrities, do they really do their own Twitter? Amy does. But Amy, we're so thrilled to have you with us today. So thank you once again for speaking for us.
Oh, well, thanks for having me. You know, that Atlanta conference was so much fun and I was so happy there. And I'm going to talk today about how to navigate the ups and downs of life with good humor or in good humor. I'm going to start though with some life coping skills and I'm going to end with the humor part. And it's because I need to tell you guys what happened after I was at that Atlanta conference. I had just finished like dieting and I was like, well, I'm back to that weight now, but I was at my target weight. I was actually looking forward to wearing a bathing suit, which, you know, is pretty incredible when you're in your early 60s. We were about to go on a beach vacation. And so I was feeling really good at that conference. And I got home from the conference and the very next day I started spotting. And I have to tell all of you ladies, you're postmenopausal and you see even one little spot down there, you go to the doctor. Well, it turned out it was not good news. And 3 weeks later, I was in the hospital having surgery. Woke up after the surgery and was told your ovaries were perfect. And I said, but I was here for ovarian cancer. And they said, well, you had a tumor in your fallopian tube. It's really the same thing. And so I embarked on the ovarian cancer journey in November of 2018, right after the conference, and went through 5 months of chemo, came out of it in April of 2019. And really, you get a lot of clarity from cancer. You learn a lot about how you want to run your life, what's important to you, what your life skills are. I mean, it's a terrible thing to go through. And when people say, oh gosh, it was the best thing that ever happened to me, I'm thinking, you're insane. But you can derive some benefit from it as well. And one of the things I learned from it was that my Chicken Soup for the Soul job is really, really good for me. So when I was coming out of the chemo and I was so worried about recurrence because there's an 80% chance of recurrence with ovarian cancer, I said to the oncologist, I need to talk to somebody. I need to cope with this fear of recurrence. So she sent me to a psychiatrist for the first time in my life. And I went to the psychiatrist and she went through this checklist, which I guess is what they have. And so she started talking to me about my life and different things that had gone on. And I've had a few of the down parts of life in the last few years. My mother died unexpectedly in 2017. And so she asked me about that and did I have any unresolved issues with my mother and all of that. And I said, no, my mother was grumpy and moody, but I understood why and I accepted it and I was fine with it. She said, well, that's good. And we just went through the list of things. My father has dementia and we had to put him in a home after my mother died. And I talked about that. And then she said, are you grateful for anything? I said, oh my gosh, I am so grateful for so many things. And I spent 20 minutes going through my list of things I was grateful for. My daughter is an OBGYN and had done the same surgery that I had and knew everything about my cancer. And I have good health insurance and my family is incredibly supportive and my husband is amazing. And Memorial Sloan Kettering, which is one of the best cancer hospitals in the country, is 15 minutes from my house. And I just went through this list of all the good things that were happening. And she said, all right, you got the gratitude part down. And she said, you know, I don't usually get people coming to see me who are in such good shape. I don't know how you got this way, but you don't really need to come here anymore. And I said, I guess it's the Chicken Soup for the Soul stories. They've really, really changed me. And so I wanted to pass on to you some of the things that I learned because these are things that were incredibly helpful to me going through cancer and my mother dying, my father having dementia, and just all the different bad things that have happened recently. So Let me go over some of these with you because they're so helpful to me. So the first one is that thing I talked about with her, the forgiveness of my mother and how it liberated me. So forgiveness, I think, is one of the two things that is essential to happiness. I think you really need forgiveness. Here's the crazy thing. I'm supposed to be a word person. I'm the editor-in-chief of a major publishing company, right? I did not know what the definition of forgiveness was. I thought forgiveness meant that you were telling people that thing that you did, it wasn't really so bad, I can overlook it. Well, it turns out that's not what forgiveness means. Forgiveness means that you have decided not to keep reacting to that bad thing. You've decided not to relive those same negative emotions, which was eye-opening to me, but it makes total sense. So that bad thing that happened, that you're resenting or you're disappointed about or that hurt you, it happened in the past. It felt bad when it happened. But if you keep reliving that bad thing now, then you're letting that person who did that thing to you control your brain. You have to empower yourself by saying that thing happened in the past. I'm leaving it there in the past. That's where it belongs. It doesn't belong in my present. I will recognize that it happened, but I will no longer experience those emotions. And one way that you can achieve forgiveness for almost anything is a technique that I use all the time. And it's a little bit snarky because it involves you basically saying, I'm good at things and this other person isn't, but let me explain it to you. So we had this writer named Judith, and she was really stuck after her divorce, and she just couldn't move on. So she went to this divorce support group, and the leader said to the group, repeat after me, in my marriage, I did the best that I could. So everybody said that because of course they did the best that I could. And then she said, okay, now say, in my marriage, my ex-spouse did the best that he could. And nobody would say it. And the leader said, but wait a minute, you just said you did the best you could. Don't you think your ex also did the best that he could? And a light bulb went on in Judith's head, and she thought, oh my gosh, of course my ex-husband did the best that he could. I mean, he wasn't good at it. I kind of think he sucked at it. This is where the snarkiness comes in. But you know what? If you redefine your past disappointments and you look at them and you say, that family member who let me down, that friend who let me down, that colleague at work, that volunteer on that committee that I'm on, they let me down. They couldn't do any better than they did. If you stop viewing them as being responsible for their failure and you realize they just couldn't do any better than that, it changes everything. And I use this technique almost every single day. I always excuse everybody's poor behavior because I decide they just couldn't do any better than that. So if you have a sibling who isn't helping as much, say with your father with dementia, you say to yourself, she's just not capable of helping more than she is. So that's one of the coping skills I want to share with you. Another skill is gratitude. And this was the thing where I passed with flying colors with the psychiatrist. So half of us are born with an ability to count our blessings, to see those silver linings, even in the darkest clouds. And then half of us need to practice that skill. But the really cool thing about gratitude is that you can add it on. It's actually a personality trait that can be added on. You're not stuck. If you don't have it, you can actually get it, which is wonderful. So here's a really easy exercise for you or somebody in your family who needs this. For 30 days, just 1 month, write down 3 things a day that you're grateful for. Now, you can't repeat any of the items. So the first day it's going to be easy, but by the 20th day, you're really looking for those items. It could be something really simple like, I saw baby birds in a nest outside my front door. It could be something really major like that friend who I thought was mad at me called me and we had a great conversation and she's back in my life again. But whether it's big or small, you write them down. At the end of 30 days, there are 90 things. Those 90 things aren't even that important. What's important is that you developed a practice of looking for the good every single day in your life, even if you were having a really bad day. So that's how you bring gratitude into your life. It is life-changing. Another thing that I've learned is no matter what you're going through, you smile. it changes the way that people interact with you, and it changes the dynamics of any situation, even the grumpiest person. If you smile at them, what are they going to do? They have to smile back at you. It's just like, it's contagious. It's like a yawn, you know? So we had a story from a woman named Farida who was in a really bad mood one day because she had just been in this really long line at the post office, and now she was going to be late to the dentist, and she was stomping through the parking lot at the post office. And then she saw this woman stomping towards her, looking really grumpy with her face all, you know, stressed out. And Farida thought, is that what I look like? And she smiled at the woman, and the woman kind of stopped and startled and then smiled back at her. And Farida thought, that was so easy. And this is a tool you have. You carry it around with you. It's free. It's really easy to use it. So that's another thing that I do to power my way through the ups and the downs of life. And then another thing, and this is, I'll close with this one before I move on to some other tips. Don't take it personally. So when my mother died, I thought, it's just my turn. Because I've read so many stories from other people whose mothers died, and they powered through it, and they talked about what they went through. When I realized my father had dementia, I thought, it's just my turn. You don't feel sorry for yourself, because everybody goes through these things. And no matter what you're going through, there are 10 million other people going through that same thing today. And they are powering through it. They are overcoming challenges, and they are not feeling sorry for themselves. If you don't feel sorry for yourself, it really gives you a lot more power to overcome the challenges that are ahead of you. I guess I'll just give you one more little tip. And again, this is in the snarky category, which is a little strange for that chicken soup for the soul lady. But I think this is important, and especially for women, because we tend to do this thing that we shouldn't do. I don't think guys do this. Do you have a friend who you say, oh God, it's so-and-so calling, but I have to talk to her, or I have to go to lunch with her? But you know she's always complaining, and she's negative, and she doesn't make you happy. She doesn't bring joy into your life. You don't have to do that. You get to choose your friends. You only have a limited amount of time that you get to spend with friends, right? Because you have all those other obligations. You have family, and family is mandatory, whether you like it or not. Friends are the people you get to pick. And I'm not saying be mean and dump people, but we all have cell phones now, so it's super easy to decline. And also, you can just schedule that next lunch 2 months out. You can say, oh, somebody else is calling me, I gotta hang up, I'm so sorry. You can reduce your time with the people who don't bring you joy, increase your time with the people who do bring you joy, because you deserve to treat yourself well. And this is really important. You need those good friends in your life, and you don't want to bring that negative energy into your life. All right, now let's talk about humor, because that's another thing that I've learned going through the cancer journey and other things. And I was talking to a friend of mine who is a therapist and has written a bunch of books, and he gave me permission to feel joy even when I'm supposed to be feeling sorrow. So, you know, you go to a funeral and half the people there start cracking up, and then you feel kind of guilty, but it's like this natural human impulse. I mean, at my mother's funeral, I swear I could have done the comedy club that night and I would have gotten a standing ovation. I was so funny telling stories about my mother. And then halfway through, I thought, is this improper? Everybody's laughing, but am I being disrespectful? But then afterwards, like my cousin said, that was the best funeral I ever went to. But the fact is, it's okay. You are allowed to feel joy, even during times of sorrow for yourself or others. And so we sent a book to the printer in January. And then, of course, the coronavirus hit. And then I was really nervous for a couple of months, because this is the book I sent to the printer. And I have this little green screen thing going on because I'm actually sitting in my messy office, not in my beautiful library. So I don't know if you could see this. Let me hold this very still. Okay, come on, here we go. Ah, there we go. Okay, this book with the funny alpaca on the cover is called Laughter is the Best Medicine. So imagine, I'm like, oh my God, we have to stop the book. In March, I said, did we ship it already? People are gonna think I'm being flippant. Well, it turned out people were so happy to have something funny to read and something that was a distraction. And the funny thing is, I put on the back of the book, do a news cleanse. Read these stories instead of watching the news. I was talking about the Democratic primaries, you know, and all the political stuff that's going on. I wasn't talking about a pandemic. I didn't know about that. But anyway, people have been enjoying the book so much. It became the #1 new self-help book in America for 6 weeks in a row after it came out. And I've been getting written fan mail. Who sends written letters anymore? When people are at home, they revert. They're riding their bikes, they're writing handwritten fan letters. We're getting so many letters about this book. People are dying for some humor. So I'll share a couple of stories with you. Honestly, all 101 stories in the book made me laugh. I think my husband thought I was crazy while I was editing this book because he would just hear me cackling in my office. So here's one story that I love. And my husband's name is Bill. And this is, in this story, this woman, Sharon, her husband's name is Bill. So she and her husband decided to make pepper jelly for the first time. And they were so proud of themselves when they were done. Her husband had chopped up all the jalapenos and they had cooked it up on the stove and they put it in the mason jars. And Sharon was just standing there like admiring the mason jars in the kitchen while Bill went off to take a shower because they were going out to meet friends for dinner, until she heard a blood-curdling scream from the bathroom, like somebody was in there murdering him. And she ran in like, what's wrong? What's wrong? And he said, I'm on fire. And he was pointing down to his most sensitive area. And he had been soaping himself. And then she realized, oh my God, jalapeno peppers, he got the oil on his hands. So she ran screaming back to the kitchen thinking, what am I gonna do? She got beer. She's like, beer goes with spicy food. She goes back to the bathroom. She starts throwing cold beer on his most sensitive areas. He just screams more like, you're killing me, stop. So then she's thinking like, okay, what am I gonna do? Burn, it's hot and burning. So she goes and she gets burn ointment and she tries to give him that to put on and he screams some more because that's not helping. So then she's running frantically back to the kitchen. And I could just imagine this in a movie, right? She's running back to the kitchen and she's like, what else? What else is good with spicy stuff? Sour cream. So she grabs sour cream. She runs back to the bathroom and she starts throwing dollops of sour cream against his most sensitive area. And then he wants to like rub it on because it's helping. And she's like, no, you cannot touch yourself. It's on your fingers. Anyway, gradually he calmed down and they learned a lesson, which is that you wear gloves, which we all have now. You wear gloves when you're chopping jalapeno peppers. So I loved that story. I just thought it was so funny. And then I have another story that I think is really funny and kind of relevant to everybody using technology today. So it's from a woman named Cassidy, and Cassidy was home with her 2-year-old and she was dying to take a shower. And then she did that thing that mothers do. She kind of made a compromise because her son wanted to watch Baby Shark on the iPad. And she was like, oh my God, he's watched it 100 times already, but fine, I'm gonna get 5 minutes in the shower. I'm gonna let him watch Baby Shark again, even though for some reason as a parent, I feel very guilty about that. So she ran off to the shower. He was watching Baby Shark. She's in the shower, enjoying herself, 5 minutes of freedom. And all of a sudden she hears this man's voice right outside the shower. And he's going, Steve, Steve? She's like, oh my God, there's a man in the bathroom. And so she looks for a weapon and all she can find is an extra large bottle of Pantene shampoo. And so she cracks open the shower door and she's got the shampoo in her hand. And she hears again, Steve? And then she sees her son giggling with the iPad aimed at her. Her son has somehow turned on FaceTime and has called Randy in accounting at her husband's company. And he thinks Steve is calling him on FaceTime. And she's like, oh my God. So she just drops and rolls in the shower. She's trying to hide behind the little misty part at the bottom of the door. And then she reaches out an arm with the shampoo bottle and she bats that iPad away from her son's hands, not caring if she breaks it. And then she crawls out and reaches out and just touches the off button. And then when her husband came home that night, she said, we're moving. And he said, what are you talking about? She said, just pack your bag. We're moving to Wyoming. And that was it. So I love that story too. I laughed so hard when I read that story. So that's what we have in our Laughter is the Best Medicine book. And it just shows that funny works at all times. In fact, I remember when I was going through chemo, I started binge watching funny shows like Grace and Frankie and what was it called? Park and Rec or whatever. I was watching a lot of funny shows, and it really, really does help. And so put your smile on, count your blessings, make your gratitude list, use that forgiveness, do the snarky thing once in a while. And, you know, that's how I navigate life's ups and downs with good humor. And now I can take questions if anybody has any. I have a few more tips that I didn't share, but I didn't want to go over. I have no idea how long I've been talking. So
you've actually been spot on, Amy. So we do have time for a couple of questions or another tip. So if you have a question for Amy and you want to unmute yourself, that's fine. Who has a question or a comment? Yes, Tanya.
Actually, Amy, I have a comment for you. I met you in Atlanta when you were up there. And the funny thing is my sister, my older sister she works with aging adults, and she was working in a center where she had a senior lady who had not spoke in years, and she would sit and read her Chicken Soup for the Soul books. And when my sister started there, they said, you know, you're not ever going to get her to talk. And I got your book and I had you sign it for her, and she brought it back and she added it to the collection. And she started getting this lady to laugh, and she started saying a few words here and there. And this lady that she has been reading to every day for the last year is now carrying on conversations. And my sister attributes it to everyday reading Chicken Soup for the Soul to her. So I just wanted to share that with you and tell you, you know, you never know sometimes how these things change people's lives.
You know, I was on a podcast the other day. I was being interviewed by a psychiatrist for his podcast. And we were talking about my cancer experience. And I was telling him about that psychiatrist and about how Chicken Soup for the Soul helped me, and how I attributed these coping skills to having read all of those stories, you know, prior to having cancer. And he said, well, that may be true. He said, but he said, tell me, did you keep putting out books while you were sick? And I said, yeah, I didn't miss my deadlines at all. Even when I was going through chemo, I was working on the books, and I didn't miss any deadlines. We kept to our whole schedule. We had a great year actually in 2018. And he said, well, I think the reason you did so well psychologically is because you were doing your job and you were still reading Chicken Soup for the Soul stories. Because he said that, I mean, he understands the whole neuroscience of it, but he said that stress releases cortisol in your brain. But then he said, when you're reading Chicken Soup for the Soul stories and you're living through other people's experiences and you're being inspired, it releases oxytocin in your brain, and that offsets the cortisol. And he said that his theory was that that's why I did so well going through cancer, was because of continuing to do my job reading Chicken Soup for the Soul stories.
See, that's awesome. So yeah, Chicken Soup for the Soul helps saves lives. You can put that in your little credentials. But thank you.
Oh, sorry. I just wanted to ask you, are you connected to Cancer Schmancer at all with Fran Drescher and the ovarian cancer?
Well, Fran actually had uterine cancer, not ovarian.
Yeah.
But we actually do contribute to Cancer Schmancer because Fran wrote the foreword for a book that we did several years ago called Chicken Soup for the Soul, Find Your Inner Strength. It's an extremely powerful book. And she wrote that foreword, and instead of taking royalties for her contribution to the book, she asked us to give her royalties to her organization, Cancer Schmancer. So we are a contributor to Cancer Schmancer.
Which is great. Yeah, she's doing a whole COVID thing now.
Oh, is she?
Yeah, around the best medical, because I think that your story is so fabulous because it really heightens how we need to take care of ourselves. instead of waiting, like you said, you know, if something happens, go and see to it. So,
oh gosh, yes, I knew that. I knew that thing about if you even see one spot, you go. There are, you know, plenty of other medical things also where you immediately go, even if you feel a little silly about it,
yeah,
because it makes a huge difference. And if mine doesn't recur, it will be because I went right away and, you know, had the chemo zap it while it was still fairly new to my body.
right.
Amy, hey, I'm Sherry Nettles, and I wanted to
Sherry.
say, hey, I'm an 18-year ovarian cancer survivor.
Oh my God, it's so nice to meet you.
And I would love to connect with you. I am a Christian comedian, and I'm a certified laughter leader. So everything you're saying, I'm going spot on in the background, spot on, spot on. But I also serve on the Ovarian Cancer Coalition of the Midlands in South Carolina. And so I would love to just connect with you and see what we could do with Chicken Soup for the Soul here in South Carolina. I was like, okay, I'm one of the educators on it. And so I'm so encouraged that you were here tonight. And can I ask you something a little bit personal?
Sure.
What stage did they find yours?
3B.
Amy, I was a 3B. I was given 90 days to live 18 years ago.
So it's interesting, when I was diagnosed, and of course, I used to be a Wall Street analyst, so I am all about statistics. So, and I drove the doctors crazy asking them questions. And of course, reading scientific studies online, which I didn't really understand, but you know, my daughter was like, stop reading the internet. I said, I can't stop. But anyway, yeah, I was 3B. When I was first diagnosed, the median survival for that stage was 5 years.
Yeah.
By the time that I finished my chemo, the median survival for that stage had already moved up to 9 years.
Wow.
Because of PARP inhibitors, I think. But I don't have any of the genes. I don't have BRCA. Really weird, because my aunt had it too, my father's sister. And there's only a 1 in 16,000 chance that she would get it and I would get it and it not be genetic. But I was tested. I went into a study. I was tested for 88 known cancer genes, and I didn't have any of them. But anyway, I had a really low number. There's ovarian people know there's this number, CA125.
125.
Mine was only 42 when I was diagnosed. My aunt's was 2000 when she was diagnosed.
Wow.
My aunt lived for 14 years though, and that was before they had all the good stuff. But anyway, I'm hoping I'm in the 20% who never have a recurrence. I've been through my 1-year checkup already.
Oh,
so
good.
got through that just fine. So I'm 2 months now into my 2nd year.
Well, I hope that I encourage you, because I am actually, my oncologist, my GYN oncologist retired, and so he released me whenever that happened. Now, you know, I do have a general practitioner, but I do hope that I encourage you that, because mine had migrated, mine had spread, metastasized into my stomach also. And so
my gosh.
Yeah, I did not take chemo or radiation. I have my story is one of divine intervention. My medical records say divine intervention. So it's a great story. We'll connect sometime, because I really would love to see some of this Chicken Soup for the Souls, especially the one that you're talking about, Fran Drescher. I'd love to see us get a hold of some of those. So that's
sure.
I'm so glad that you're Catherine, thank you for many, many reasons tonight.
So glad you could make it tonight. Good introduction to what we do here. A lot of magic. Do we have one more question or comment for Amy?
Yes. Yes. So Amy, so I just a little trivia about Jack Canfield. So in the 1970s, he introduced me to the whole field of self-esteem, because I was teaching junior high school English, and I wanted to take some extra courses, and somehow on the bulletin board came up 100 ways to build self-esteem in the classroom. And that was his first book. He had a beard down to not his waist, but up in Casanova, New York. And it changed my life forever. And I haven't seen him since. But I took this amazing course with him, and I'm so happy to see what he's done, and that you're carrying on the tradition. And Just a little trivia, that's all.
Oh, that's nice. And we're still in touch with him all the time. And he's a great guy. And it was a big responsibility to take over in 2008 and carry on that legacy from Jack. But he seems really pleased with the direction that we've taken it.
Sure.
You know, we're not just a book company anymore. We have a line of pet food, dog food and cat food. We also, and this is very relevant right now in case you're looking for something to watch. You know how there's those paid services like Netflix and Amazon and Hulu? Well, there's also the free ones where you can just watch stuff for free, streaming services. So we have the biggest ones. We have one called Crackle, which is a joint venture with Sony, and we have another one called Popcorn Flicks, and we have some great TV shows and movies. So that's what we've done with Chicken Soup for the Soul since we bought it from Jack. We've moved into a lot of other areas as well.
All right. Anyone, maybe one more comment or question? I know I said that was last one, but does anyone else have anything they want to add for Amy?
All right. Well, thank you guys very much for letting me invade your meeting. It was really fun to talk to you. I'm going to go off and have some wine now. And,
Amy, thank you so much. Always a pleasure and honor, a joy. And we can't thank you enough. So we hope to see you again soon.
all right. And Sherry, I'll look forward to hearing from you. All right. Bye, everybody.
Bye. All right. So what a fantastic presentation. I really loved the part about you can find joy even in a funeral. And I think we've really got to think about that. I know in my own family, our funerals have always been celebrations of life, and it's kind of like a party, even through the tears. But I love Amy's message, especially about smiling with your voice and really wrapping joy and laughter into every single day. So I think we can all make that commitment here. So, and we didn't get to everyone going around the room. I was on a kind of a tight time frame to bring Amy on and so forth. So I want to bring on Deborah Fawaz. She is our Gainesville chapter director. So Deb, let me get you unmuted here. There you go. Hey, Deb.
Hey, Catherine. Thank you.
Thank you. And you're on our speaker board, one of our chapter directors who's worked so hard to make this boat float. So Deborah, tell us who you are, what you do, what you want.
Glad to have two flowery branch people on here tonight. I'm going to connect with you. Awesome. So I'm Deborah Fawaz, and my company is called DD Faces, and I work with men and women to elevate their presence, their physical presence, their in-person presence, their online presence. The goal is that your look, your exterior look, reflects your personality, your lifestyle, and most importantly, your brand. And so what I'm looking for is business owners and entrepreneurs that are ready to hit the reboot button. Maybe they are looking for an interview. They are ready for a photography session to rebrand themselves. And I'm also looking for speaking opportunities in person and online about elevating your presence to grow your income. Thank you.
Thanks. Okay, and another person that we didn't have to get to, Teresa, are you still on here?
Yes, I am.
Yay, Teresa, tell us who you are, what you do, what you want. Thank you.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. I'm Teresa Cummings, and I own Cummings Consulting and Management. I reside in Alpharetta, Georgia. I've been in business for 16 years and focusing on corporate training, leadership development training specifically, also some coaching and consulting. Most of the experience and I guess you could say the contracts that I have gotten has mostly been in manufacturing. I currently am doing some things with NASA and Boeing, and a lot of my training has been classroom. So I am looking to elevate my presence in the virtual space, which I have probably 10%. So I would like to go from 90% classroom, being that COVID has wiped out a lot of my opportunities this year, and maybe like a 60-40, I'm thinking, for virtual space. I love the classroom. That's why I am determined to not all the way leave that aside. But in times like a pandemic, we need to be more cognizant and have more opportunities in both virtual space and the classroom space. So that's basically what I'm looking for, and I'm open to lots of different connections. It looks like I heard some similar people are doing some of the things that I'm doing, so I hope to connect with them as well.
Yeah, definitely connect in the chat and set up those one-to-one coffee appointments, virtual coffees.
Yeah.
Thanks, Teresa. So glad you could make it today. And Beth Mercanti. Beth, how are you? Good.
Hey, good. Oh my gosh, this is so exciting to hear Amy again. I remember when she was at the conference, we were so excited. I'm Beth Mercanti, the Chief Operating Officer of the company. And just to mirror what Judy said, we're so thrilled to have Catherine at the helm as president and all our terrific chapter directors down there. My other job really is commercial real estate finance. So if you're looking to buy an apartment building or a store or already own one and you want to refinance it, I'm your person. I work nationwide, and it's a kind of a tech platform. We have over 700 lenders around the country. And this was just terrific. I mean, Amy is such a star and so motivational, and I loved hearing all of your stories too. And this is great. Have a great rest of the week.
All right. Thanks, Beth. We appreciate everything you do for what women want, and we're just lucky to have you with us. Okay. All right. If there's anyone that I didn't get to, unmute yourself and tell me. I think I got to everyone. We only had one or two people who said I'm not up for speaking tonight, and that's okay. You don't always have to speak or get on camera, but we're here to connect, inspire, prosper, grow, and so forth. So, as I mentioned, we are going to have in Atlanta, Georgia, we are going to be having an event, and that event is going to be happening Tuesday, the 23rd at Aldo's Italian Restaurant. Only 25 attendees. So if you're interested in coming and you're in the Atlanta area, or you're gonna be coming, or you wanna come to the Atlanta area, please join us. Up to 25 attendees. We will be social distancing and making people as comfortable as we can and make sure that it is spot on. We've always had some fantastic events at Aldo's, and Bernadette, thank you for booking that today for us. Bernadette is our co-leader with the Perimeter chapter. And, we really appreciate the fact that we can get out, we can see each other in person again. So send me a text message if you're interested in attending, and I'll be sure to make sure you're the first people for being here tonight that know as soon as that link is up, I'll make sure that you get the link first, because I guarantee you we will have 25 people who are clamoring. I spoke yesterday with Monica Shaw, who many of you know. Monica's on our speaker board, and Monica, who is an extreme introvert, said, if even I am craving community, everybody wants community. Because she just like that, although she's out there on stage and hosting 3-day events, she is truly an introvert. So we laughed at that one. But I do want to let you know just some of the things that we are planting seeds for. I am looking at doing a conference, and again, we will be social distancing. I have no doubt about that. I'm looking at locations for September. Don't have final dates or location yet, but do know that we will be hosting a What Women Want event. Probably won't be as large as we had a couple hundred people at the last one. We'll have to see what we can do in terms of space. I know I have located one place that we can do 60. We will be booking speakers, sponsors, vendor opportunities. Our conference, I have to tell you, the conference that we had in November at the Whitley, I am still riding on that energy. It was absolutely 5 stars, A+. And we are looking at opening our diamond level of membership in the fall. And the diamond level of membership is for those women that are of a 7-figure mindset. There will be an application process. It is definitely for women that are interested in philanthropy, in being involved with charities, or maybe you have a charity of choice, or maybe you've started a charity. My personal charity has been Desmond Tutu's Tutu Desk campaign, and we've been fortunate enough to be able to contribute to that organization ongoing. So do know that we're looking for women that are interested in being in the media. You may know that Judy Goss is now one of the lead show hosts on QVC. She's on QVC 11 times in one day. So we have several of us here with What Women Want. Myself have been a regular guest on NBC's Atlanta and Company. And it really is a matter of networking, media training, having what the media is looking for. We've got Liz Began here today, who is top-notch public relations. And, you know, I've watched her put people on NBC, ABC, Fox, you name it. We've got the connections. It is a process, and it is a matter of training. So the media is really something that we want to get the message out. We want to get the truth out to people. And yes, a lot of it is pay to play, but not all of it. But you've got to become educated about the media if that is something. We've got a couple of Emmy Award winning people here. We've got Sue Perez here today, Emmy Award winning makeup artist. Our own Araya McGarry, chapter director for Alpharetta, Emmy Award winning television host. So we're not playing when it comes to the media. This is the real deal. And I will tell you, there's a lot of smoke and mirrors out there. So whether you're interested in being in the media or not, I will tell you, we can get you educated. We can get you with the people who can get you to understand how this actually works. And if you're ready to go bigger, What Women Want, I am not interested in growing huge. I'm interested in growing slow with the right people, with the people who truly come to this organization without an ego, who are here to pay it forward, who are truly in this to win and help everybody else win. So, and I'm just gonna open it up for comments, questions. If you've got let's go to some testimonials next. If there's someone that you've worked with that's here today on the call that's still on or was on earlier, we would love to hear from you. If you want to give a testimonial that you've used their services, or maybe you just had a great connection call. So Bernadette, let's hear from you.
Hello, it's me again. So I have had the pleasure of working with several of the ladies inside this group, and gentlemen, as a matter of fact. Catherine was my first connection. She is a mentor, a friend. I would even call her a sister, like a kindred, true.
I'll take that.
And a piece of my heart. So I've been very blessed inside this group. Catherine put me on a path of mental and physical wellness, and because of that I lost 50 pounds in less than a year. And I have now changed my goal weight, which I haven't told her recently, but I want to lose like another 20 pounds.
You're holding out on me.
So I've also worked with Stephanie. Stephanie is a champion and probably one of the most intelligent women I've spoken to in the law field. She's helped my husband and I build out our new wills, our living wills, some executive stuff. I didn't realize that if just because you're on a mortgage doesn't mean you get to keep a house when your spouse dies. Didn't know that. So she had us change some terminology on our deed, which was really, really important for me. And I've also worked with Dr. Nelson, who is a fantastic chiropractor, has
He's been
my
a guest here with us as well.
over the last 3 weeks. And I would recommend him over and over and over again. Him and his wife run a beautiful practice, and they have some great safety in place right now as well. So if you're a little nervous, they're very accommodating to the situation that we're in. And I truly believe that he has like hands of healing spirits. So those are my 3 for this week. I'll do 3 more next time.
All right, thanks, Bernadette. And thank you for really utilizing the people here in our network and truly being that voice to say, hey, these people are over delivering on service. So Marie Fertoni.
Oh, hi, thanks. I'm surprised to see my face come up like that. Well, anyway, I look adorable because the testimonial that I wanted to give is one about Deborah Fawaz of DD Faces. And I've known Deborah for a long time, but I've had a problem with my eye and itching, and we have been talking for a long time. And then Deborah and I got together just this weekend for an in-person meeting, completely social distancing. And we looked at some different products, and I got some different products, and I appreciated her coming to my house, coming and really giving me like really extra special care to make sure that I was really taken care of as a client and a customer for the right reasons, and that really my health and safety of my eyes was like of utmost it was just of utmost importance. I really, really appreciate that. Thank you, Deborah.
I see Ann Saccone with her hand up.
Yes, I would like to recognize Caroline Layburn. She is truly a generous soul. She had gotten a call from a client and realized that it was more in my wheelhouse. So she recommended me for that client, and I want to personally thank her for that.
Awesome. Awesome. We love to see you ladies working together. And Deborah, did you have your hand up?
I did not, but I could give a testimonial.
Let's hear from you. You're always here with us every single event. But is there anything you want to say?
Yes, I'm going to highlight two people. Cheryl Weldon with Peach. She's so lovely to work with. She really has a sense about fashion. She knows the fabric. She advises you. She knows the sizing. And if something doesn't really work out for you, she's totally open to fixing that. So thank you, Cheryl. Especially during this time of COVID, my capri yoga pants, yay! The other person I wanted to recognize is Catherine Woods, our communication expert. I am not a client of Catherine's, but I've done several workshops with her together. And so I've learned so much from her about speaking, and I'm continuing to learn. And this woman gives away so much information complimentary on her Facebook Live videos. So check out Catherine, because it's a game changer about your presence.
Awesome. Awesome. Anyone else? Okay, I want to give just a shout out testimonial for Diane Beatty. Diane has built me a couple of ClickFunnels, and I want to say the first funnel that she built, that her company built, it was amazing because I was doing a 30-day challenge and 48 people signed up for the challenge, and I'm still doing the happy dance when people you don't know click and pay and sign up. And Diane and I have just built another funnel for my virtual online masterclass, and that's evergreen. So now people can actually go to virtualwealthonline.com. They can watch the class, they can get the class, that becomes a living, breathing entity. And I will say, you know, and I say this with love and kindness, that when you understand that websites are generally not productive and funnels get the job done, they have the conversation for you. If you're interested in having a website or a funnel built that literally people opt in to the conversation, I pick up off that original funnel about 100 emails a month that people opt in. I'm not adding them. They're literally going there and adding in. So Diane, I can't thank you enough for this work. And you know, I'm a little bonkers about ClickFunnels and Diane, and I keep her very, very close to me. So you have a conversation if you're not picking people up off your website. But anyone else, if you, last call for testimonials, any comments, any questions, anything anyone wants to add? Madeline, all right. Oh, let me get you unmuted.
Oh.
Here we go. Hey, Madeline.
Hi, I just want to say thank you to everyone. What a warm, welcoming group of women. I'm a part of another organization, big time, that's national, Master Networks. I don't know if anybody's a member of a Master Networks group in your local community, but I can certainly help you with that. And it's the same environment, all about friendship, relationship, paying it forward, being supportive. So this was like the most delightful surprise. I've been on these meetings all day, and I said,
I know. And they're so boring compared to us, I'm sorry to say.
What's that?
Meetings are so boring compared to us that you were in today.
No, I mean, I just was like, I was so exhausted, and I said, well, maybe I'll pass on this one, but I had instinctive feelings about it, and I'm so glad, and I'm so grateful, and I look forward to connecting with everybody on this.
So, Madeline, would you be so kind to put your phone number and email in the chat? I know some people.
I thought I did, but I'll do it again.
Do it again, please. And, you know, we got a lot of info in here. So put your phone number and email in the chat. I'm going to grab it. I want to follow up with you and get a connection conversation. And here,
yeah, and also that at my event next Thursday night, that would be so awesome for the girls around
we're
the
going to
world.
get that posted and shared across What Women Want. And for all of you,
I'm going to put it in right now.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I want to encourage all of you, with everyone that you meet here, to connect on social media. And I know some of you are great about this. I know Ann is one of those people. Deborah Daniels, one of those people. She couldn't be here tonight. Send some love and prayers. One of her dogs seems to be having a health issue. You know, and for those of you that aren't used to connecting on social, every single person that you meet here, you want to look them up on social, send them a friend request. Unless you're at that 5,000 limit and you just can't take any more people and you don't want to knock some people off, add them on Facebook, add them on LinkedIn, add them on Twitter, add them on Instagram, whatever your platform is. We've got Bernadette here, who's the Instagram expert, but this is how your network will grow personally, professionally, online, and offline. And it's amazing to me, once you're in one of those leadership positions, which many of you are, what happens? People start looking at, who do you know? Who are you friends with? You got some really cool friends, people jump up and they want to get to know you. And they're, you know, now it's easy to get a connection conversation that will lead to clients and customers. So this is how it's done. It is organic growth. It is person to person, conversation to conversation. And many of you I've had conversations with. If I haven't, I would love to have one just to get to know you, see how we can support you, how we can pay it forward, because you never know what's going to happen. And some of you, I've had conversations and it's been a while. I would love to reconnect. The cat is crawling up my back. Seriously, come on. She's like, hey, meeting's over. I'm sorry. It's time to eat. But absolutely, I'm going to leave the chat open. Feel free to unmute yourselves. And if I can unmute everyone, I will here. But you know, it's open conversation for as long as you want to stay. I think one of the most wonderful things that we do is we're good about really giving you time to connect, utilizing that chat, making sure that you all get to have a voice at any of our events. And that's why I love to keep them smaller, more personal. And even at our conference, I still feel like, you know, we're more of a boutique, elite, classy. You know, we just want to be the leaders that really show the younger people or the less educated people who don't know how to network yet, how to do it and how to make it really, really productive. But I loved having all of you here. It's always a joy to see these smiling faces. And we're looking forward to seeing you again in person on the 23rd and thereafter.
I just wanted to say one more thing really quick, Kath.
Sure, we got time. It's open.
So I forgot to mention, I'm speaking for the July 9th event for the Buckhead chapter on virtually increasing your revenue around Instagram. So,
and it's a virtual event on July 9th so it's Buckhead, but it's virtual. So everyone can attend. And what's the title again?
Virtually Increase Your Wealth.
With Instagram, right?
With Instagram, yes. So I wanted to let everybody know the link to the events page for What Women Want is in the chat. You can go there and not only buy tickets for my event, but for the other upcoming events that are going to be there as well, including the in-person event that Catherine just talked about. So the link is in there. But for me personally, just so that you know, I have a multitude of things I'm giving away at this event. I have a ring light. I have a selfie light, and I am personally going to pay, if you bring a guest, I will personally pay for one guest's virtual online membership fee, not the $19.95 a month, they need to cover that themselves, but their actual enrollment fee. I'm going to pick one guest from that event and pay for that event. So it is the best time for you to bring a friend to our event, because then I can sign them up.
Yeah, and I want to thank Mike for being here today. Also let you know that the Buckhead Club is a fantastic opportunity if you're in Atlanta for networking. It is the best of the best. I've been, you know, fortunate enough to be in Mike's mastermind, which couldn't be run any better. And I will tell you, there is always, always, always business in the room. There are always people who jump up and become your client, or they send a client, but there's no substitute for the in-person networking. And we've been fortunate enough to do it really well online and see the results. And men are welcome. when I first started with what used to be over 40 females, there were no men. And I said, well, we're not going to discriminate. We want some great men to come. We want great women to come. We have always been the ones that have said, hey, everyone is welcome. Everyone is welcome. So if you know some people that are a good fit, invite them to connect with me. And I'm happy to get their first ticket to come in and check us out. And, we'd love to grow with the right people.
Catherine, can I add one thing also?
Absolutely, Helen.
So I'm going to be the membership chair for ABWA. You probably didn't know that. Yeah, that's a little surprise to me too. So anyway, no, I'm excited about it. So I've already started by sending the notice out last week, and a lot of people are going to be on there, and there are going to be a lot of new faces, I think, because I know a lot of people, and I want to invite people who are in Florida, Connecticut, wherever you guys are, just come in on this meeting. ABWA is tomorrow at 11:30 till 1, and I'm sure Deborah Fawaz can say more about it. I do know the speaker is Marie Reynolds, and the topic is Discover 10 Simple Health Hacks that have the power to change the health of you and your family, and it's free. They're not charging. So if you have a moment to come on for an hour and a half, I would join this lovely group of women. Very similar format to What Women Want. Deborah, you want to say anything?
Give us a word about ABWA. I'll tell you, I was with ABWA for 8 years. Definitely quality organization. I say that's where I learned how to do professional networking. It is fantastic. So Deb, give us a word or two about ABWA. Free event going on tomorrow, and I think get a hold of either you or Helen if some people want to attend tomorrow.
And I put the link actually already.
You did. Okay, thanks.
She's got the link in the chat. It's American Business Women's Association. There's 6 chapters in the Atlanta area. Of course, our Alpharetta chapter is the best. Catherine used to be a significant part of that group. That's actually where I met Catherine, isn't it?
Absolutely.
But it's a fabulous group of women. It's about professional development, but relationships happen and networking happens. So we always have a speaker that delivers a 30-minute talk about something about professional or personal development, and they come from all over the country. So it's really fabulous.
Yeah, ABWA is a large, long-standing organization that, Marie spoke there, I think, a couple of times. Just great speakers, great attendees. That's where I met Marie for Tony. And Marie, I always say this, you gave this great talk about being prepared, like 10 tips for networking. You're like, do you have lipstick? Do you have mints? And I remember you were just going through all of these things. And I was like, I got to step up my game. I was in the learning curve.
That was a fun time.
It was. I will never forget that, Marie. Thank you.
Me too.
Put on perfume for the video like I have perfume on right now and you can't smell me. Like, I 94 days in, I'm still like, oh, grab my heels. Oh, wait a minute. They're not going to see my shoes.
Okay, Bernadette, can I say something about that? Because I teach people to get ready for their online meetings exactly like if they were going to an in-person meeting. Because if you're in your yoga pants, you're not in your business mindset. But I do spray myself with perfume, but I do not wear my heels. Just saying.
All right, ladies, it's been fun. I got to go make dinner.
So,
oh.
A great night, everybody.
Great night. Thank you all.
Have a great night.
Thanks so much. Great event tonight.
Thank you.
Have a great week.
Ladies, have a great night. I'll see you next time.
Thank
Get your tickets. The link's in the chat.
Bernadette, I really need your help with Instagram. Oh my God.
All my info's in the chat. Just
I need to contact you. I know I went to a big event a couple of years ago, and they said events, which I do, and Instagram were the only things to do, and I still haven't. I just am so frustrated, but maybe you can help.
Get my link.
There's hope for me.
Yeah, email me or set up the time. I'm happy to help. I'm here for the whole time.
I will. Okay, thank you.
Have a great night.